Hey everyone, it's Rebecca Ruth. Thanks for tuning in to watch, I should say, another episode with me. Today I have Saryna with me. Hi Saryna, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I am very excited for our interview today.
Well, thank you, and thank you for being here and being willing to share a little bit about yourself and about your story in this industry. So I like to jump right in. So Saryna, tell us where you are and what you do in the industry.
Absolutely. So I live right outside Chicago, right here in, little quaint Illinois. So right in the United States of America. But my name's Saryna Louise Ritter-Keddy. I'm married. I'm actually competing in my first Mrs. pageant. So I'm the reigning United States of America, Mrs. Bolingbrook, and I'll be competing for the title of United States of America, Mrs. Illinois this fall. So I'm very excited about that. As far as, industry, I have an extremely long background of being in the industry, helping women, individuals all over the world. So in 2008, I started my business called Go Bling Yourself, and it's focused very much on all the bling, the fun, the jewelry, all of the accessories, providing great deals to people. And that's where that really started back in 2008. But I had the great privilege and honor. I worked for an international fashion design house and a designer. So we dress people all over the world, celebrities, reality TV, TV stars. And working with them, I was the East Coast Regional Sales Director. So I wore a few hats. So I was the East Coast Regional Sales Director. I was a senior fashion merchandiser. I did our cataloging, sampling, things like that. I also got to help style a lot of celebrities, working with their stylists. So that was very exciting. So I am a professional stylist as well. And then helping curate the collections with the designers. That was a huge feat and something really I'm very proud of to put on my resume. And, being the salesperson, meeting with the stores and making sure that boutiques and shops all over the United States, primarily the East Coast, were filled with all the goodies for you girls for your special events.
Well, that's awesome. First of all, congratulations. And good luck to you coming up. When is what was it?
So it's the United States of America pageant. So for the Mrs. Illinois title, it's going to be jointly held with the Mrs. Wisconsin pageant and the other age divisions as well. But that's going to be November 6th and 7th in Elkhart, Wisconsin.
Ah, well, November 7th is my birthday, so that's excellent. That's
Happy birthday.
It's gonna be wonderful then. So congratulations on that. And then you have a very unique background because you've kind of touched a lot of different aspects of the industry, because you've touched like the retail side, you've touched styling, design, your own personal design in line. So out of all, and then of course you compete in in pageants and stuff, so you have that aspect of the industry as well. So out of all of those, like which one, I won't say which one you like the most, because I feel like that's such a hard question to ask unless you can answer it, but like maybe which one, which one challenges you the most? Maybe that's a better question.
I think the most challenging, really getting started in the fashion industry back in 2008, everything is a challenge, getting your feet wet and, finding your voice and really where it makes sense for you. That was initially hard. But when you're styling other people and you're working with their stylists and it's for specific events, we all have a mental image in our mind. And sometimes getting that translation saying, yes, but this is literally tailored perfectly for your body. This is going to accentuate everything that you want. Sometimes that's hard to convey when you're working through a third person. So sometimes on the professional styling side, that was really difficult. But it was very rewarding. I'm like, come on, just give it a chance. Just at least have, whoever that particular celebrity was, just have them at least try it on. How many times do you go to a store and you're like, there's no hanger appeal, but then you put it on, you're like, oh, boom. So that was challenging. Now, I would say the other part that I found really challenging at first was Also meeting with the retail stores, because coming in with an extremely diverse collection and making sure that it was cohesive for not only their demographic and their market, but it also has to be very sellable and it needs to be affordable to their consumers. And that takes a little footing, and you have to really find what works for those individual stores. And since I had the whole East Coast, you're looking at the Northeast as a hub. Then you're looking at DC, Maryland, Virginia. That's another hub. But then if you go to the western side of Virginia, that's closer to the Tri-Cities, it's a very different market. And then the South, that's its own hub too. So you just have to make sure you have the right hat on when you're helping those stores be successful with the product that you're bringing forward.
Yeah. So it goes back. I always say, part of, fashion is an international language, and it crosses so many like boundaries and all that, and borders, I should say. So it is really important to really understand the demographic and the audience that you're dealing with at that moment. I always talk about in the form of like, in the sense of like, internationally, culturally, things that are okay for us here, but not okay, like
right
in India, for example, things like that. But I'm glad that you pointed out that even here, here in the United States, just in different parts of the state, you're talking about, just a different look, a different aesthetic,
yep.
just depending on where you are. And I think it's important to be able to adapt, honestly, and to be able to bounce. I think that's a big thing, is be able to bounce, and things like that. But on the personal styling side, I have, that is a common one that comes up when you're dealing with celebrity clients, just dealing with that third party. But then I think, and then in general, like, I style and stuff, and that's always the hard thing, is kind of like trying to get your clients to, to just, like you said, to think differently and to maybe see something differently. But I mean, if you think about it, we do it because there's tons of times when I just see some. First of all, I hate trying clothes on. I know it makes no sense.
Me too. I'm right there with you.
I hate it. So I'm the type person, I'll just like look at it on the hanger, and if it looks okay on the hanger, I'm like, yep, here we go. Yep. And then it's like, but then it's funny because a lot of times the thing that I'm just kind of like, I still throw it in the basket, even though I'm kind of just iffy, like, about it. And then I get home and like, that's what I love. And then the thing that I was all like, oh yes, this is it, I'm kind of like, it's whatever. So it's really funny, like when we allow ourselves to just kind of get out of our zone. It's surprising what comes out of it.
But it's so exciting when you can say, okay, I'm going to open up my little fashion box and say, okay, I'm comfortable with, like you said, a very certain aesthetic. And somebody comes and says, yeah, but you would look amazing this. You're going, oh, I just don't know. I'm not sure. And you're like, come on, just try it on. It's like going shopping with your girlfriends. They're like, oh, come on, just put it on, put it on. And you're like, fine, let me just appease the audience. And then you do, and you're like, oh, well, that actually feels really good. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just, be willing to just kind of be open-minded, I guess you can say. And then I always say the same thing, at least try it on. If you don't like it, fine. But like, do me a favor and please just try it on. Let's see how we feel. Let's see, how it looks. But it is sometimes scary, I guess, in a way, but it really shouldn't be. Because it's like, if you don't like it, then you just don't wear it,
Right.
But it's so, I think maybe, I don't know if that's a little bit of like control on our part or just comfort, what it is. Or sometimes even as someone in the industry, sometimes we think we know it all when it comes to ourselves. But I'll be the first one to admit I am much better. Like, I can style you like that, no problem. But then when it comes to me, I'm just like, I don't know what to wear.
Well, it's like the old saying, you walk into your closet and you say, oh, I have nothing to wear. And then your significant other, your spouse, or your friends are going, really? You have nothing to wear in this gigantic closet? And you're like, oh, I've worn this, I'm just over it. And absolutely, we are very much on the same page.
Yeah, and then that's when like the styling chops come in, right? And you're
Yes.
like, all right, let's make 10 new outfits out of what's in our closet.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I saved this for you. I was like, ooh, I wanted to put something a little fun on today. So oh
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. Yeah. So, how did this all begin in your life? How did you end up in the fashion industry? Where did this journey begin for you?
So growing up, I mean, I was that kid that was, in their mom's clothes and shoes and jewelry and, putting it all on. And I just really, really liked it. And, my career path was very, very different before I stepped foot into the fashion industry. And there was an opportunity that arose. And I grabbed it as fast as I could and I ran with it. And boy, oh boy, did I run with it. And I was able to, I was really able to couple my love of my being an entrepreneur, my business, Go Bling Yourself. So I was able to take my love of jewelry, my love of pageantry, my love of already styling women, because that's what I've been doing since 2008. And then I had the opportunity to work for international fashion designer MacDougall. So literally my hobby, my passion, my entrepreneurship then became my actual career. And it just blossomed from there. But it all started being that little girl hanging out in my mom's room, watching her put her makeup on, putting those beautiful high heels on, and just kind of being in awe of my mom going, oh, she's so pretty. I love all these pretty things that she has. And that's really where it started.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love to hear the behind story. Like how did this come about? How did you end up here? So that's awesome. And I understand that, the little girl, watching my mom was a little different. I like and actually for me it was a little backwards because I was like super tomboyish, actually. Tomboy. I was just tomboy, period. I'll take off the ish. Um I'll just take off the ish. So I was a tomboy growing up, but it's funny because even though I was a tomboy, looking back, I feel like I still was kind of was doing the fashion thing without realizing it, even as a tomboy. So it's just kind of funny because it was like I was a tomboy, then I ended, I added like accessories to make
Oh, I
it,
like that. I
so I
like
was like,
that.
wearing the overalls and a baggy, but then I was like, I'll like add some chokers or something.
Mm.
Yeah, so I was kind of already there, but yeah, no, that's really cool. So how, like, I won't say how old were you? So 2008 when you started working for the International Design, that's when your career in fashion anyways really started, would you say?
Well, I started my business, Go Bling Yourself, in 2008.
Okay.
Now, I started working in fashion in 2014.
Got it. Got it. Okay. All right. And then, well, I mean, we met or we connected because I think I saw your post about was it Supermodels Unlimited?
Yes,
I said
yes.
yes. So that's when I reached out to you. So tell us a little bit about what that is.
Oh, absolutely. So I go way back with the Supermodels Unlimited magazine. I am actually their national spokesperson, so that's been really exciting. Um, but the behind the scenes story is when I was working at MacDougall, I was their sales rep. That's how I actually met them. So I was their sales rep on the East Coast because they're stationed in Massachusetts. And by the way, they have a gorgeous store. So ladies, if you're looking for something fabulous, go to their couture room, tell them Saryna sent you, but they will make sure you have all the goodies, and they sell online too. But I met with them. I'm like, I know this name. I know this name. So when I went and met with them, I'm like, oh my God, Kim, it's Kim. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know all about you. So many of my friends have like modeled for your magazine for, ever. And, the relationship on a personal level, on a professional level, just spiraled from there. So, we talk family, children, all of those things, but they provided me so many opportunities. I've walked Miami Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, both benefiting charity. So that was really exciting. The one in New York benefited the Trevor Project. So if you're familiar with that, which is a phenomenal organization that's really helping our LGBTQ community big time. And then I'm going to have to rack my brain on the one for Miami. I don't remember off the top of my head, but as being a petite model, I'm what I call fun sized, opportunities like that. They don't really happen. The typical agency models, they're 5'8", 5'9". That's what we use for cataloging too. And, us fun sized girls, unfortunately, we don't get a lot of those opportunities. So they really paved the way for, it doesn't matter how old you are. It does not matter your gender. It does not matter your size. They are so inclusive in what they do. It's very, very diverse. And I have so much appreciation for a company that's been around for 21 years that can be inclusive and is so diverse in what they do. We have women all over the country, sometimes all over the world too, that are being showcased on billboards and magazines and runway shows. So it's a really beautiful thing that they've done. So whether you're a model, a pageant girl, maybe you want to dip your toes in a little bit, this provides a lot of opportunities where maybe you don't necessarily have them in your city or state.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I remember seeing the post, and then someone, I don't like, kind of just acquaintances through this industry. I saw I think she was on a billboard a couple months ago maybe, and I was like, oh, what is this thing? what are they all doing? So it was really cool, and it's nice to hear like the backstory, because obviously I didn't know all of that. I just kind of saw what was on social media and stuff like that. So I think that's really cool, and it's cool what they're doing. But I don't know how tall you are, but I get that, because I modeled way back in the day when I first started. But one of the reasons, not the only reason, really not the main reason, but one of the reasons why I walked away from it is because they told me I was too short to do runway. So I was just like, all right, well, that's the only reason why I wanted to be a model. So
right.
Never mind. But yeah, now it is very cool. Cause I mean, like, and this, I was talking to Layla Rose about this, because that's one of the things that's different from the pageant world, from like the runway world, fashion runway world, is that, in the fashion runway world, there are still a lot of like, like 5'6", I think I'm 5'6". Probably not.
As we get older, we shrink. We're like, oh, I'm somewhere around there.
I'm pretty sure I was 5'7", but now I'm 5'6". Probably not going to see a lot of 5'6" on the runway, right? In the fashion world, but in the pageant world, like you said, it's like, well, it's like, and organizations like Supermodels Unlimited and things like that. It's like it just gives more people opportunity, who normally wouldn't. And like you said, I love that, because some people, I think, are not sure this is what they want to do, or maybe like some people are one of those who's like, just one time.
That's
I
right.
Want to try it one time and just have something. So I think it's amazing. I will say this. I'll say that the industry as a whole is creating more and more opportunities for people, and I'm loving that within the industry. So I think that's super duper cool.
Full visible representation for all people is so important. And again, that's always been my big draw to the Supermodels Unlimited magazine. Sometimes you see just, okay, there's another blonde. Okay, well, again, you got to include everybody. And that's something that they do with their shows. So if you watch any of their shows, if you look at their magazine, actually, it's crazy because their new magazine's actually right upstairs that I got today. I'm actually on the cover, so I should have brought it downstairs. But they're just, I cannot say enough nice things about them, because they genuinely are just great people, and what they're doing as far as supporting charity and being a voice for others. I love that. And there was something really unique that they had. So I never want to say anybody has a disability. We all have different abilities, but people with different abilities are also showcased. So there have been people with walkers, wheelchairs. So again, you want to talk about visually being inclusive and diverse. again, they're 100% there.
And that's awesome. I have two designer friends who have different people with different abilities on their runway almost every show. One of my friends, one of the designers, actually, she's legally blind and everything, so it's really powerful to watch those runway shows. And it's just how far we've come, how far this industry has come, honestly. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
to see that it's kind of amazing, as much as the bad rep that the industry gets sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's really amazing to see things like that on the runway, so it's very cool. How can people get involved with Supermodels Unlimited?
Oh, absolutely. So anybody that wants to get involved, you can message their Facebook page, which is Supermodels Unlimited Magazine on Facebook, or you can also message them on Instagram, which is, Supermodels Unlimited Magazine, or I'm their spokesperson. Message me, sign up for their newsletter on their website, go and subscribe. That way you get alerts of what's going on. Right now, they just ended their Denver campaign for 7 girls were selected to be on a group billboard in Denver, Colorado. But there's opportunities. What people don't realize, we all know what Times Square is, but how many times do you drive around your own city or you're in another state and you see billboards everywhere? Giving somebody, again, that height, that opportunity be seen for, hundreds, maybe thousands of people every day, that's huge. Now, right now we are selecting the very last few people for the New York Fashion Week show. So ladies, if you're looking for a great opportunity, hair, makeup, the whole 9 yards, Getty Images, that was on my bucket list. So being on an official Getty image, that was a dream come true for me. And I was actually on 4 of them. So that just absolutely made my day. So ladies, if you want to step outside your comfort zone, if you want to put yourself out there, maybe one time, maybe see if modeling's a thing. And don't say you're too old. Don't say you're too young. Don't say you're too short. Don't say you're too tall. Don't say my size isn't right, because that is not true. And I'll leave it right there. But that's how you get in contact with them.
Awesome. I was just about to say, I was going to say, how about people who were but the truth of the matter is, because I keep bringing Layla up because these conversations came up with her, because she mentioned, she was like, well, what about you? And I was like, what about me? I was like, I've already been there, done that. But the thing that's interesting is that I would be more likely to try it again now, just because of the fact that there's just a lot more diversity and acceptance and things like that in the industry now. So I feel like I tell people kind of the same thing. Now is a great time to at least dip your toes in if you're even a little bit interested, because the industry is allowing that right now. And it'll probably continue this direction. But I'm just saying, it's a great time. If you've ever thought about it, it's a great time to jump in. So thanks for that information. Might go check it out myself.
I need to reel you in and bring you to something with Supermodels Unlimited, and I'm going to get you out on that runway. Yes, I am.
I know. That's what I told Layla. I was like, how about I come and I observe? Just check it out.
Then they'd be like, oh, this outfit looks like it might fit you. Or, oh, what did you bring? Oh, that looks really good. Let's just scoot her out on the runway. But no,
But honestly, I have done a runway show. So a couple years ago, a local boutique asked me to be on their in their fashion show, and I fought it. I went so far as to ignore her phone calls. I stopped going to her store, and I don't even know how she ended up roping me in the end. Oh, that's what it was. She asked me to help. As a stylist and stuff. That's what it was. And then she's like, oh, by the way, we need another model.
Oh, she got you. She reeled you right in.
So yeah, that's how she did it. So it was because she knew I had to be there anyway. So she said, well, while you're here, go ahead. So, it was fun, but I have to give people props who do this on a regular, who do that, because I was nervous as anything.
Well, and I'm sure you did absolutely amazing because it all comes right back to you. Once you already have that in your blood, it just naturally is going to flow and come out.
Yeah, it was fun though. It was fun. So I want to talk a little bit about Chicago, the fashion scene in Chicago, because I don't know about a lot about Chicago. I have a friend who lives in Chicago. Really, the most I know about Chicago is from Juliana Rancic. So, okay. What is the fashion scene like in Chicago?
Well, again, think of Chicago is, again, broken up in hubs. So you're going to really have like the south side of Chicago. You're going to have the north side. You're going to have, the Gold Coast side. You have the hipster area. So it's kind of everything. There's not a staple, I would say, that's iconic for Chicago as far as dress and apparel, because it really depends what part of the city you're in. If you go to other cities, they have a very certain look. Like if you go down south, obviously, the cowgirl boots and a lot more denim, things like that. In the Midwest, that's going to be a little bit more typical. You're going to see a lot more denim. You're going to see more flannel, stuff like that. But in the city, it's going to be jazzed up. But it depends on the part of the city. If you go to, Lincoln Park or anything around there, it's very hipster. So you got the, very interesting mustaches. You've got, the guys slick back hair. You've got some very interesting, patterns. But again, it's that whole hipster vibe. It's sending the message. I went to a thrift store and all of this was sitting next to each other. So I snatched it all and this is my outfit. So that's one vibe. Then you're going to have the city girl vibe. So you're going to have the stilettos. You're going to have the designer bag. You're going to have the perfectly polished hair, the makeup, the lashes, all of that. That's a look. Then you're going to have just, the regular girl right now, like the crop tops are super in. If you're, younger, with the, boyfriend pants that are all ripped up. And then their mom saying, well, yeah, I could have made those for you for $10. So whatever. And so that's also a look, more interesting piercings are really in right now. They almost look like staples in the ear. So that's a big trend going on. Layered jewelry. So I love that because that was super big in the 90s. But again, layered jewelry, not chokers, but they rest right on the clavicle bone. So those are super in right now. Lots of rings, things like that. But that's kind of, LA also. New York really has a lot of taste of that. And if you go to the south side of Chicago, there's a lot of representation of sports teams. They're like, diehard Sox fans. I'm a Cubs fan. I'll cheer for any Chicago team. I'm putting it out there. Cubs fan all day long, baby. I bleed red, white, and blue. Just saying. But you see, it's just a very different look in these little hubs. So long story short.
Well, that's interesting. I think that probably is. I was just recently in Seattle for the first time, and I feel like, I don't know, Seattle's mostly hipster.
It is. It's very hipster.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say, did I see, like, I was like, no, like, I mean, I obviously see different things, but it was very hipster. So Seattle's probably not a good example of what you're saying at all.
Well, and my stepdaughter lives in Tacoma, Washington, okay. And so she's here during Christmas time. So of course I'm, checking out her wardrobe. All right. I'm like, what'd you bring? Emma, what'd you bring? And I'm going, what? I'm so confused. I'm like, what is this? And then she puts the whole outfit together. I'm like, I see where we are going here. I like that. But yeah, it's just so different and unique, but literally it's ladies, don't take this wrong. If you do this is totally fine. But it's like being that little kid and saying, Mommy, I want to dress myself today. And they go, close your eyes, grab. Okay, so don't take that wrong, anybody, but that is definitely a look. And that is what we are seeing all the time. So it is what it is. That's the look. Grab.
That's a good way that's actually a really good way to describe it, because that's what it looks like. And I know the mixing patterns and everything, it's definitely a thing. It's definitely a look. So I get it. But yes, that's a great way. And that's most of what I saw in Seattle, actually. Now that I think about it, that's
and I get down with the contrasting, really fun patterns, and because then you're trying to make an educated decision off of what you're bred into with fashion and saying, does that violate the rules of traditional fashion, or is this a new trend, or Is this on purpose? Was this an accident? Then you have all these other questions. So you're not sure where to go. But the fashion world the nice thing is the fashion world is evolving at a pace that we can't even keep up with right now. So fast fashion has completely transformed the world. And when Forever 21 came on the scene, they changed the face of the industry. So did H&M. So when they came on the scene, it's throwaway fashion. That's what fast fashion is. It's cheap enough where you can buy it, wear it a couple times, toss it. That's what it's really meant for. But they have gotten, the quality over the years has gotten a lot better. So it's not toss away fashion anymore, but they're still, the staples that they are setting forward. I mean, Nasty Gal's another one that's, made huge strides online for e-commerce, but they really set the tone for what's in, what's out. I mean, they have a mega following. Same thing. There's, Misguided, all of these other sites, Black Halo. And, those are really, really cool. A lot of the celebrities jumped on. Okay, it's fleeing me right now. Help me. Fashion Nova. Yes, Fashion Nova. I heard you mouth it. I'm like, yes. But Fashion Nova, same thing. Fast fashion. It's, it's edgy. It's affordable. And this is something that if we look back at our parents growing up, again, you would go get your back to school wardrobe and that would be your clothes for the year. Then you get some things maybe for your birthday and you're like, I don't want clothes for my birthday. Oh, it's Christmas. Oh, I don't want that stupid sweater. But the reality now is it is so affordable to look really hip, really cute, where those were not options 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. I mean, kids are going to Walmart nowadays because they've upped their game. I'm not encouraging that, ladies, but anyways, they have upped their game because they have put people in that are better buyers to appeal to a younger, more youthful crowd. So.
Yeah, fashion, I think you said it best. Like fashion is evolving and will always evolve faster than we can probably keep up. And also fashion is cyclical, right? Like, so it's like, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. They're going to put different touches on it, but it'll come back. So whatever is out of style now, whatever, they'll put a little, like I said, like they'll put their little twinge on it, but it'll come back. And yeah, like this is the first time I've ever seen I've seen two people now on Instagram other than Walmart, posting about Walmart fashion. And I was like, that's new.
But that's what I mean.
It's like nothing against Walmart, but it's like I never thought I would see, someone like promoting like Walmart fashion, that they're wearing Walmart fashion. So it's like, I know, like, again, nothing against it. It's just, it was mind blowing to me in a way. Yeah, it's very foreign to me, because I never before like thought of Walmart as like a place to go, like wear clothes. Like, again, nothing against Walmart, but when I was younger, Walmart was kind of like the store where we went if we just needed, I don't know, something real quick to throw on, or like,
or basics.
Well, yeah, or like someone had an accident in the middle of the day, we needed to replace the outfit, like stuff like
that. But I was raised in the era where, back when, Kmart and Walmart, things like that just wasn't considered like in style or fashion forward. But things have changed. I mean, I just never thought in my wildest dreams that I would be talking about fashion and Walmart in the same sentence. What is going on here? I mean, even some of the grocery stores, they've really expanded like what they're carrying because they're trying to keep up. They're like, oh, well, if you're here grocery shopping and you've got the kids going, mommy, 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 please. Well, mommy, mommy, please, that happens. Or they're like, oh, I actually needed, some socks, or oh crap, I needed this. So it's kind of like that grab all. They're like, haha, we got you type thing.
No, it is. It's very interesting to me. Like, yeah, it was just one of those moments where I was like, wait a minute. What's happening? What is happening? They have shoes and stuff. And I was just like, but yeah, but it's, I think it's also encouraging. And I think also it's, everybody in fashion you find your niche, you find, you know, where you fit kind of thing, whether you're the consumer, the designer, the you know, the creative, the consumer, the and so I think it is good. Like I loved it when, you know, when Target first started like their collaborations way, you know, way back in
Yes.
the day. I think Isaac Mizrahi was the first one like
Yep.
back in the day. So I love that because it's like, you know, making it affordable for like the everyday person to be able to wear Isaac Mizrahi, for example, you know, or Victoria Beckham when her
Yep.
line, when, and, you know, things like that. And I think that's great because the average person, let's just be real, cannot afford to wear Victoria Beckham every day. Like the average person can't. So it's great to me that, you know, stores like that are collaborating with these designers, and it's, you know, let's just be real, it's a smart move on their part too.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and they're attracting a brand new clientele that wouldn't maybe necessarily shop there. They're going, oh, I didn't know you did that. But the collectives that they have done over the years, they sell out instantly online. I mean, the lines around the store when they were doing that, they haven't done them in a while. And I really hope they bring them back because that was really exciting. And it was nice for them. Like Zuhair Murad did a collaboration and everybody went nuts. Well, okay, if you look at one of his beaded dresses, you're looking at $20,000 and up because of the type of beading that they do, because it's tied off individually. Same thing with like Chanel, Prada, any of the high-end designers. That's why they're so costly. There's so much work that goes into them. Plus, you're buying a designer name. But they did some beaded items at a lower cost that were very affordable. Things under $1,000, which literally blew people's mind. They're like, "Are you kidding me? I can get something by this designer that's not, I don't have to take a mortgage out to afford it." So
Right. Yeah, no, it's very smart, and it's great, you know, it's smart on their part, it's smart on the design house's part, because yeah, you're opening up your market to, like you said, new consumers. It's smart on like Target's part, and then it's smart for us consumers because yes, I mean, you don't have to tell people. First of all, I think, and I feel like you and I could probably like talk about this forever, but I feel like, first of all, I think it's important that people realize that we're not saying that it's bad, you know, if you shop at Target or anything like that. So let's take that away, first of all.
oh, I was at Target earlier buying my daughter some bibs and onesies. So Target is fabulous.
Yeah,
I'm
Target
not saying
is
nothing
yeah,
bad at all. You walk
nothing
in
bad at
Target
all.
and they got you. They're like one thing. I came in there for tissues this morning and I left with, I don't know, oh, 3 bags full
Right.
of stuff.
Right.
So
Someone said,
bravo.
someone told me, she was like, you can't really go into Target and come out with less than $80 worth of stuff. That's like a minimum. And I'm like,
That's so true.
probably. Yeah, you're probably right about that. But like, I don't even know what I was saying, but yeah, all I was saying is that it's super. It's, I think, did Vera Wang do a collaboration with them? I thought she did.
Vera Wang did a collaboration with Kohl's because she
Oh,
does sell a line at
that's
Kohl's
right.
that's really, really affordable. So that was really, really interesting when she did that because she was one of also the first to do that.
Yeah, because for Kohl's, it was her and J Lo
Yep.
really did big lines with Kohl's. But yeah, I remember Isaac Mizrahi with Target. I remember Gwen Stefani with Target. I remember, yeah, Zuhair. I remember Victoria Beckham. But yeah, I hope that they do another one soon, and I'm interested to see who it would be next. But I definitely think they should do another one.
I agree. I agree with you.
Great. Yeah. But thank you so much, Saryna. It's been great chatting with you. You know, it's fun chatting to another fashion because like I have to cut it off because I'm like, I could just keep talking.
Oh girl, we could talk all day long. I mean,
yeah.
we are speaking shop right now. So
Right.
It's gonna keep coming because then we're gonna go, oh, and this and this and this and
Right,
this.
exactly. So I was like, all right, let me shut this down so that you know, we can end this. But it was such a pleasure chatting with you and hearing a little bit more about you and your, you know, your story in this industry.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. There was one thing I did want to mention since we're talking about fashion. So I do work for an international nonprofit called Marleys Ministries and Marleys Angel Gowns. So there is something really great that you ladies can do with your leftover wedding dresses. And this is something I wanted to mention. You know, we go through the day, it's such an important day in our life, but so many times we preserve the dresses and they just sit in that pretty box. We never see them. My mom's has been sitting in her box since she got married back in 1985 and it has never ever been opened. But there's something that you can do that's incredibly impactful, and it does fall in line because that's a piece of fashion. Recycling fashion is also really important. And for a charity like ours, we take those beautiful moments and time that you had on one of the best days of your life and we recycle it to somebody that truly needs it. So we create what's called angel gowns. And these are distributed worldwide. So I'm the international spokesperson, and we distribute care packages and angel gowns worldwide to help preemies and preemie families. So that beautiful piece of fashion is help laying an innocent child to rest. So it's important that we recycle the things that we also have too. But I did want to mention that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for mentioning that. I love the mission behind the nonprofit, but I also, love the topic of discussion that we'll obviously have to schedule about, recycling fashion, because that goes into sustainable fashion and all of that good stuff, which is a topic that I'm big on. So yeah, that's obviously gonna have to be, a part two. So, but no, thank you so much for mentioning that. And I'm assuming if people connect with you, there will be information somewhere about the nonprofit as well.
Oh, yes. Anybody that's interested in volunteering, I do all of the coordinating worldwide. So I recruit in all 50 states and any country that wants to hop on board. So we've had Canada, Australia, India, Africa, South America, Jamaica, Mexico. Okay, that's all I can think of off the top of my head that we've recently done. The UK, Ireland, Scotland. So anybody that does want to jump on board, doesn't matter where you live. All you need to know is you're doing something really great. It's free. We send you the package. You deliver it to your local NICU and they're able to distribute them.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Saryna. And we hope to connect with you again soon.
I would absolutely love that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.